G'day folks, this is Shane. Today I'm going to show you 6 different ways you can record your electric guitar without annoying the neighbors. Yes, there is a way of doing it, and the technology's gotten to a point, no matter what your price is, whether you've only got 40 or 50 bucks, or whether you want to go spend thousands, you can actually get something that will replicate your guitar amplifier tone pretty much perfectly, and everything in between as well. And you might be thinking, well, I don't have a whole lot of money, where can I start? Well, I'm going to start with the least expensive thing, which isn't the worst by any means, and then I'm going to go up to the most expensive things, the things that I have on hand to be able to get this done. So let's get into it. The cheapest thing to do to get going is to get one of these. This is the Amoon American Sound, which is basically like the Joyo American Sound. I think Harley Benton makes some as well, as also Tech 21 with their Blonde, which was the original. So this is a clone of those particular pedals. Now the great thing about this particular pedal is it will replicate any type of Fender amplifier. It's 100% analog. You can get a tweed sound by pushing the voice forward, or you can get a blackface sound by bringing the voice back. It works great with pedals both before and after it, so you can run your overdrive into this and it will give you a simulated amp output signal that you can go straight into your sound card. I use these, well, the Joyo American Sound, which is the same thing, over not my last album, but the album before, and it sounded great. So you can just go straight guitar in, out, straight into your sound card and get a really great sound. Let's take a listen. All right, let's kick this off. I've got this set up like a 65 Deluxe cranked, so it's got a bit of overdrive on there right now. We'll try it clean as well. I'm also running a delay pedal after it and then out into the sound card. So nothing fancy here, just a couple of pedals, a couple of cables, and here we go. Let's add a little bit more high end. Now you might be thinking, does this go clean? Absolutely. Just got to tweak it up a little bit. Let me know what you think of that. Now the next way you can go about it is to find some sort of old technology you can use just for guitar tones, and you can also use them for bass as well. Get something like this. I found this on eBay recently, and these are great units. While it only can record 32 megabytes of data, megabytes, not gig, on the SD card, it comes equipped with a whole lot of really cool guitar sounds, some that aren't that good, but definitely still usable sounds. These were big in the 90s, and you can basically plug your guitar in and run a line out into your sound card. Same thing as before, except you can dial in all kinds of different sounds. As a last resort, this would also be a really good deal. Let's check it out. Over to the Boss BR532, I'm just going straight out of the headphone jack, straight into my sound card. We've dialed up a preset called, what's it called? This one, Rock Lead. Let's give this a shot. Alright, sounds pretty good. There's plenty of clean patches on here as well. Let's just go back one to JC Clean. This is like a jazz chorus sound with some chorus and a little bit of delay. Let's have a listen. It's clean. If you're in a pinch and you only have something like this or a modeling amplifier of any description, they generally always have an auxiliary out or a headphone jack out on the back. You can simply run this into your sound card as well. Now, this sound isn't probably going to be as good as some of the others that we've heard already, but in a pinch, at least you can get your guitar into your computer using something you already have. So if you've got any number of amplifiers that have a headphone output, you can also run that just straight into your sound card. It's pretty cool. Let's take a quick listen. Now you can use just about any type of amplifier in this situation. If it has a headphone jack, it actually mutes the main speaker, which is awesome. And you run a line straight into your sound card. Nice and simple. Now I've set up a few presets on this that I use when I jam on my Facebook live streams and all that kind of stuff. And this particular one's just a lead with a bit of delay. So here we go. over to the clean just with a click of a switch. So you're basically using the amp as you would per normal, I should say. So if I want to get rid of that delay, just turn it off. Maybe not the best clean tone in the world, but definitely still usable. You could of course tweak it a little bit more on the EQ up top here. And this is the cool thing about doing it this way. You have the flexibility of the amplifier. Although I can hear a slight sort of digital noise in the background. I don't know if that's my wireless pack giving some interference or whether it's just some sort of weird loop I've got going on right now, but it works. So let me know what you think. Up next, we have a solution that I think might be the best solution for value for money, as well as what you get tone-wise without actually having to own an amplifier, without having to own pretty much anything else. What is it? It's the Mooer GE200. Now, these guys were nice enough to send me one of these a couple of months ago, and I did a full review on it, and I was really blown away by the kinds of tones you could get with this. You can load also third-party IRs into it as well. So I downloaded some Celestion IRs or impulse responses from their site, which basically replicated the speakers that I like. You can import them into here. It has amp sim technology and all that kind of stuff, delays and reverbs and all kinds of stuff. So you can just run a line straight out from here, straight into your sound card. As per always, as everything that we're doing today goes straight to the sound card, and you can get some really authentic tones. Now in that video I said this is pretty close to the Kemper. Kinda isn't. There's some things about it that I love, but I see this as like an all-in-one solution, comes with all the effects. In terms of value for money, I'd probably say this is maybe the most cost-effective recording tool. You can store your actual presets as well, so if you want to be consistent throughout the album or whatever your project is, store it, come back to it on another day, and record with exactly the same tone. Just leave it on the desk and yeah, you're good to go. So this is a really great tool. I've also used this live as well, going straight into a PA, as well as the American sound pedal too. Both of them are good. Now, if you already have all of your effects, this might not be the pedal for you. I'd probably say go for the American sound because you want to run your own effects into it. But if you don't have anything, this would be a really great choice. All right, this particular patch you're about to hear on the GE200 was one that was built using just the software that already came with the unit, so no third-party IRs or anything like that. And this is a really great sort of lead and rhythm tone. You go from clean to dirty, nice and easily as well. So I built this one on a Fender amplifier with a tube screamer, some delay and reverb as well. Let's start on the neck pickup. Over to bridge. Now the great thing about this is if you just want to go clean, turn off the overdrive. Turn off the delay. Turn back on the overdrive. And that's just one of the patches that I made. So this thing works great. It really replicates an authentic amplifier mic'd up kind of sound. Thanks to the cab sim. You turn the cab sim off like this and it sounds terrible. Whoo, awful. So cab sim always on. If you were to put that on top of some music as a guitar track, no one would be able to tell it was coming out of this and not an actual amp. It's a really good unit. Alright, up next we have the 2 Notes Torpedo Live. This is something that I use on an almost daily basis here at the house when I do my pedal reviews and all that kind of stuff. I actually use my analog amplifier, use my Blues Deluxe or my Marshall straight into this thing, and this actually replaces the speaker. So you run a line out of your amplifier where your speaker jack would be into here, and then you run this into your sound card, and then you can dial up any number of speaker configurations or import a third-party IR that matches the speaker that you've already got, which is what I do. I use the Swamp Thing, which I've got in my amplifier, and if I'm using the Marshall, I've got the Celestion V-Type speaker IR as well, and they're pretty much spot on. So the benefit of this is you can use your analog amplifier with all your effects and all that, how you would normally use it. Then this replaces the speaker, and then this goes from there into, you can even just play with headphones on via your sound card and not make any noise. These are a really great solution and a bit more on the professional end, but this will definitely do a great job. I've been using it for now for a couple of years, and I'm a huge advocate for 2 Notes Torpedo Lives. I haven't tried any of their other units yet, but this particular one does exactly what I wanted. It basically cuts down the noise, and I can record it any time or day or night just with headphones. And that's pretty much what I used all over my last album. Right now I'm actually plugged into my Blues Deluxe reissue amplifier back here. It's loaded with a Swamp Thing speaker. I've unplugged the speaker. We're going into the 2 Notes, and from the 2 Notes into the sound card. And within the 2 Notes software, I've got an impulse response or IR of the actual Swamp Thing speaker. Let's take a listen now, see if you can hear a difference. It sounds pretty warm and round to my ear. Let me know what you think. Kind of on the verge of clipping. Now, if I was to use the drive channel or put a pedal into the front of this, you can still use it that way as well. It's really great, and this just replicates the speaker and mic, and you can choose from different microphones and all that kind of stuff as well. But overall, this is pretty awesome. Let's just crank up the drive channel a little bit now. Put the drive at 12 o'clock and the master at number 4. Let's have a listen. I think you know now why I swear by the 2 Notes Torpedo. What it does extremely well, and it's nice and easy to use. And like I said, you can simply just play with headphones and record that way. It's just a really great and usable tool, and I use it pretty much daily for what I do, so it's a really great unit. And lastly, no list would be complete without talking about this big unit down here. This rack unit is called the Kemper Profiling Amplifier. Now, there's a lot of misconceptions about what this actually is, so I'm going to give you a quick overview. This isn't a traditional modeling amp like a Fender Mustang or a Line 6 or anything like that. What you do, you mic up your amplifiers with your favorite settings or whatever your signal chain is. Depending on the microphone you're using and the speaker that's in the amp and all that kind of stuff, you get the exact tone of everything in the chain. And it's basically like a perfect representation of what it is you'd be hearing if you were to mic your amp up and record that way. So this basically takes a snapshot of your favorite settings, like I said, speaker, amplifier, microphone, all that kind of stuff, and stores it as a patch. It's really, really great. What's awesome about the Kemper is it will give you that exact sound every single time. Now, some people say this is great with pedals, some people say it isn't. I'm kind of on the fence. It works okay with pedals in a studio sense, but it doesn't work great live with pedals. I've heard some people use the powered head into a box with their pedals and it doesn't quite do what they would normally do into a normal amplifier. But in a studio setting, you can kind of get away with using your pedals into the Kemper. But I always think this is a better guitar tool just on its own. So if you've got your favorite amplifier and sound that you love, you can take a snapshot of it and just dial it straight up on the Kemper. It's really great at that. It also comes with a whole lot of effects you can add to it built into the unit as well. But the learning curve is a whole lot higher at the professional end of the market as well. So while this probably does the most out of everything, it's also probably the most complex unit. I'm not going to lie and tell you I know everything about it, because I don't, but I know how to profile my amps, dial up the sounds, go through the effects and all that kind of stuff, and it works extremely well. Anytime I do a straight up guitar video, I'm using my actual amplifier tones and all that kind of stuff thanks to the Kemper. It's just a really great way of recording. If you want to go to the top and just basically nail your amplifier or borrow friends' amps, or you can also share files online and all that kind of stuff, the Kemper's the way to go. If you already have an amp that you love and you want to use pedals, my suggestion would be to go for the 2 notes. Both of these are awesome units, but just for straight up guitar tone with microphone, the way that the speaker sounds and all that kind of stuff, and mic placement and all that kind of stuff, the Kemper's pretty wild. So let's have a listen. Let's now check out a couple of the profiles I made using the Kemper Profiling Amplifier, using either my own amplifiers or one of my friend's amps, using my own microphone and all that kind of stuff. So this isn't modeling or trying to be something that it isn't. It takes a snapshot of the amps at your favorite setting. Now, for this particular one, I had a Mesa Boogie Studio 22 on the clean channel. So let's take a listen to this. Neck pickup. Now, if that's too rolled out for you in the high end, you can just simply turn up the treble so it works like a normal amp as well. Who wants to hear a boogie clean when you can hear a boogie dirty? This is with the gain and everything on 10, I'm pretty sure. Alright, so that's a bit loud for this time of night, so I'm going to just turn that down a little bit. If I was to mic up the amplifier and show you an AB, you wouldn't be able to hear the difference. You probably would think you would be able to, but you don't. It really replicates it extremely well. Now, I've also profiled my Marshall DSL-40 on the Dirt channel. Let's take a listen. Bridge pickup. Now, the cool thing is when you're tracking like this, you can run pedals into it, but it also comes with a whole lot of effects you can just add. Here's some delay, just click of a button. Let's check out some clean tones. This is the 2-Rock Crystal 22. And lastly, the Fender Blues Deluxe, which you just heard just before. Just turn this up a little bit. So I actually profiled this way cleaner than what you just heard before, going through the 2 notes, where I had the drive or the volume up quite a bit more. So the cool thing about the Kemper is, even though it requires a whole lot more learning, you can just simply push a button and stack an overdrive or a distortion or a fuzz or a compressor or anything you like on top of this, and you have a few that you can stack in the chain. It's a really great unit, definitely worth it if you can afford to get one. I was lucky enough to be gifted this actually from Sky Music. So yeah, it's just a really great tool for productivity and doing videos about guitars as well as tracking my own stuff. I'm actually using a combination of both of these on my JJKL tribute album. I've actually finished all of the guitar tracks, so that's really cool. I need to finish off some other stuff, including I gotta get some bass put on the album. But that said, both of these two tools are pretty much second to none. If you want to find out about anything that I've got in this video, maybe except for the Boss, which is you'll have to look on the secondhand market, I'll put some links in the description below. And yeah, what can I tell you? I'm a big fan of all of these units for doing different types of things, and no matter what kind of budget you're on, you can definitely get into recording guitar. Like I said 2 albums ago, I actually started recording an album using the Joyo American sound pedal. It cost me 50 Australian dollars back then, but this other one's like 30 bucks or $35 or something like that. So it's $15 cheaper, and you can get into recording really cost effectively now. And if you already have your own pedals, some of these solutions will be better than others. So if there's anything I've missed or you wanted me to cover and I didn't get to it, please post some questions in the comments below and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. I hope this video has been helpful. I really wanted to put this video together for a while about how you can get into recording with whatever the budget is and still get some really good results. And it's all subjective to which you like the best. I'm sure a lot of people will love the Joyo American sound or the Amoon American sound pedal, whatever it's called, it's the same thing. And there's nothing wrong with that. I love it. That's why I've still got one. And you can also use these going straight into a PA system at a gig in a pinch as well. So keep that in mind. If you do play live, one of those little pedals is a really great backup option. That's what it is for me. So let me know what you think. Thanks again for watching. My name's Shane. Don't forget to subscribe and click the bell, and I'll catch you soon. See ya.